Dealing with the Internal Revenue Service. Let's do it. Let's do the dance. Let's dance all around, pancaking. So when it comes to, active trust administration, you know that there's going to be at least some type of interaction with the Internal Revenue Service, correct? Correct. All right, cool. So, I want to make it plain and simple. This is what I like to do. I'm highly interested and invested in reducing information to its lowest denomination so it can be easily digested. So this is what it is. And as I said, if you would like a copy of this document, email the secretary at welcometothefoundation.com. She got your back unless you don't. And if she doesn't have your back, I don't want to hear about it, man, because you did something. I ain't getting in between that. That's y'all business. First and foremost, when dealing with the Internal Revenue Service, this is the first look. First and foremost, when approached, contacted, when you receive any written communication from the Internal Revenue Service requesting information, they're stating a notice of audit. My bad, let me back up. How you doing, y'all? My name is Host Sot. I'm the host of the Foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network. Today's episode is dealing with the Internal Revenue Service, and I am not an attorney. I do not give legal advice. This is not legal advice. I'm not telling you what to do. As a matter of fact, I'm reading from a document that I ain't even write. It's not even me. This isn't even me. I'm just reading. Don't believe what I say. Do your own research. If you believe what I say without doing your own research, you're doing exactly what I'm telling you not to do. Cool? Do not take this as legal advice, tax advice, any type of advice. All right, bless you. So, when dealing with the Internal Revenue Service, don't. Period. When approached, contacted, or receiving any written communication from the Internal Revenue Service requesting, demanding information, or stating a notice of audit, etc., do not speak with them directly. Do not. Do not. You are not under any obligation to do a particular thing. The court has ruled so. A citizen is under no obligation to do a particular thing. A citizen's failure to act creates no liability. But if a citizen voluntarily attempts to act and do the particular thing, the citizen comes under implied obligation in respect to the manner in which the citizen does it. So if you don't answer them, you don't engage with them, there's no liability, there's no obligation, there's no... Now, can you completely ignore the Internal Revenue Service? Absolutely not. What? Now, not speaking with them directly is just that. This is not given for the purpose of encouraging you to be discourteous or disrespectful to members of the Internal Revenue Service. It's not. The purpose of this advice is to keep you from releasing any information whatsoever to the IRS that might come back to injure you or cause the trust unnecessary injury or problems. First and foremost, you must understand that you are under non-disclosure. If you are the administrator of a private contractual entity and you are not under non-disclosure, you should inquire as to why and to the nature as to why you are not under non-disclosure. That's what I would do. But hey, man, how come How come I'm not under non-disclosure? That's what I would say. But nonetheless, you're under non-disclosure. You're not authorized to disclose. First and foremost, you need to do your job. Are you the professional? Are you the trustee who has been trained to interact and communicate with the Internal Revenue Service? Probably not. So keep your mouth closed. If or when contacted by the IRS, say, okay, yeah, could you please put it in writing? You have to put it in writing. And I can refer this matter to the Board of Trustees, and then subsequently they will possibly, if necessary, refer to the trust attorney. I can't say what you said. I'm barred from doing that as trustee. Like I can't try to repeat what you said. I can make mistakes. I need you to put it in writing. If you put it in writing, I can bring it to the Board of Trustees. I am not in any position individually speak on behalf of the trust. There's no disrespect. There's no disrespect. They may try to pressure you. They may try to intimidate you. You are under non-disclosure. You are not authorized. That's very, very important. If you say more, you probably said too much. Some people believe if they cooperate with the agent of the IRS, it will be better. This is absolutely incorrect. They don't bend the rules. They don't grant privileges. They don't give favors. Don't do any of that to people who cooperate. Just because the last name of Internal Revenue Service is service doesn't mean that the service part implies serving the taxpayer. Secondly, the IRS could be classified as one of the most powerful organizations in the United States, considering that the Internal Revenue Service is solely responsible for collecting federal taxes and imposing penalties for late, understated, or evasive filings. The IRS poses one of the largest financial threats to many individuals, business owners, and private families. To sum it up, the IRS has unique information resources, legal standing, and roles as a law enforcement agency. On top of that, the IRS also acts as a legislative originating authority with a large amount of freedom to make mistakes without consequences, because no one can penalize the IRS for incorrect tax accusations. And it's keen to remember legislative originating authority, legislative authority. So what can be done to minimize the Internal Revenue Service's overinflated accumulation of power to protect the trust from potential financial wrath? Since the IRS uses what filers provide along with other miscellaneous resources to help determine the accuracy of accused filings or defenses, defense is greatly reduced. The IRS made it that way. There's one thing that can be done each day to better prepare oneself for possible tax evasion accusations, and that one thing is to keep records. Keep records. Quite possibly our best defense against audits and false evasion accusations is to keep accurate, detailed records of cash flow, payments, earnings, and other financial motions. Depending on your profession and your position within it, your specific approach could be extensive and time-consuming. A meeting with a financial advisor or an accountant is a great place to start to find advice on what financial records and statements are the best to focus on to keep up your guard. Generally speaking, the greater volume of records you keep and their accuracy, the better your chances are for surviving an all-out IRS battle. fam. The old adage says knowledge is power, but with trust, it should read information is important. If people do not know what they have done with their money or property that can be taken advantage of, another proverb says you can't tell the players without a program. Likewise, this is true with trusts, as in all other affairs in life. You can't prove what you have or have not done without a record of the act. It's very important to be careful with your own things, and it's important to be careful with respect to things that belong to others. Since a fiduciary is taking care of property for the benefit of others, the beneficiaries, they have an important duty to take care of the things which are not their outright own, but in their care for the benefit of others. One of the trustee's specific duties is to keep accurate records of the trust income and expenses, asset acquisition, and disposition. Another important reason for keeping good records is to prove the trust income and expenses for tax purposes. The only way you can prove an expense is to keep good records. If you want your trust to be able to take all of the deductions allowed by the contract indenture or by law, you must maintain proper records so your accountant can prove the deductions to which the trust is entitled. As with most people, you probably want to save every dollar possible. That means you would want to do so on behalf of the trust, and you must learn some simple steps in keeping books. Now, real quick, I want to say this, right? And I want to break this down as simply as I can, because not only is it important for y'all as the audience to understand what I'm saying, it's also important for you to understand nuances with regards to trust administration. As far as I'm concerned, everybody should be a fiduciary. Everyone should be administering private contractual entities. Everyone. I don't care if you got $5 or $500 million. Doesn't matter to me. But that's just me. That's my opinion. But here's the deal. In said opinion, the absolute most important part of trust administration, in my opinion, is to understand that the trust itself, the trust contract itself, is on par with the Constitution. And you'd be like, dang, what does that mean? Well, the Constitution was executed, right? All the parties to the contract or the trust indenture signed it. They appointed the trustees being Congress, and the beneficiaries, the people, right? The American people, okay? And then from that act, from that execution of a contract, what we see before our eyes was created, was born. All this stuff happened. And what makes that contract different from the contract that you administer as a trustee? Nothing. They're both contracts. Besides the administration, there's way more people administering the Constitution by way of whatever agencies may or may not be de jure. I'm not, I don't get into those arguments or debates or whatever. But if you understand that it is a government, think of it as a country. Think of your family as a country, man. As a nation. If you think of your family as a nation, and the contract indenture for your family trust indenture and then your subsequent asset indenture, all of those trust indentures are the laws of that nation. And if you look at the Supreme Court, what is the Supreme Court jurisdiction? What is the Supreme Court jurisdiction? Anyone know? I know no one can speak, To hear and decide different cases. I think it's different types of cases. But between states, actions involving various public officials, disputes between the United States and a state, and proceedings by a state against the citizens or aliens of another state. So, between the United States and a state, if you look at the trust indenture, the contract, the entity itself as being a state operating according to its indenture, its contract, independently and not under the authority of any of the several states within the Union, none of the several legislatures, you're going to be more in line with what is actually going on. And why it's so important to substantiate actions, because only individuals can do things with income or money or currency or whatever and not be accountable for it, not have to account to some sort of authority. When you're a trustee, you have to account to the authority, and the authority is the trust indenture and subsequent minutes or amendments that have been made and became a part of the contract itself. Now, if you're able to do that, you're in a great position. If you're able to look at you're going private in your private estate as an actual private estate versus a public state, private estate, public state. What governs the public states? Their public constitutions. What governs your private estate? The private contracts and subsequent resolutions. So it's a cases between the state and the United States.
Seconds.
A state, states, private estates in the United States. I think I'm playing. I'm not playing. In order to do that, you must show your authority. You must show your delegation of authority. You must show what you're doing, why you did it on behalf of the trust. Otherwise, you don't get the trust protections. You don't get the private estate protections when you're dealing with the Internal Revenue Service. It's not you speaking. You're speaking on behalf of the trust. You're under non-disclosure. You're under non-disclosure.
10 seconds.
Man, she's loud. So when it comes to non-disclosure, it means just that. You're under non-disclosure. This is how you need to speak. You need time to think. You should never answer, especially questions that could be incriminating under pressure. You tell them put it in writing. It allows thought. You don't want to have an emotional reaction. You want to have all of the substantiation, all of the authorizations, all of the minutes, the proposals. You owe taxes. We're taking your car. I'm sorry. I allegedly owe taxes, but nonetheless, this is not my car. This belongs to the trust. It doesn't belong to the trust. That's an invalid transfer. It's actually not an invalid transfer. Here's the proposal to exchange the car into the trust and receive trust capital units in exchange. Here is the acceptance of the proposal, the authorization by the Board of Trustees, and the resolution accepting the proposal and laying out how it will be done. So there's that. And then here's the title that the vehicle is in the name of the trust, and the trust pays for the insurance. I don't have anything to do with this thing. And according to the trust indenture, trustees are not liable for trust debts, and the trust is not liable for trustees' debts. That's how you deal with the Internal Revenue Service in that specific situation. Now, am I giving you legal advice? No. Am I giving you tax advice? No. I don't feel like I'm giving you advice at all. What I feel like I'm doing is attempting to give you some perspective. And I understand the Internal Revenue Service, the state of, whatever, these are adversarial organizations coming against your family, coming against your private estate. And it's not even a family against a family. It's a bunch of people that got together that created a corporation, some sort of private entity. But I don't want to get into that. What I want to get into is what I said. This is how you deal, in my opinion, with the Internal Revenue Service. I think it's important because we're coming towards typically the end of the fiscal year for most trustees. And I think next week I might do, a show on, end of the year duties and responsibilities for trustees. I might do that. Maybe the secretary reminds me. Maybe I'll do that. But I want you to know. I want you to know that your best option, the best opportunity, the most satisfying interaction that you're going to have with the Internal Revenue Service is going to be an interaction that you have having conducted the proper meetings of the Board of Trustees, executed the proper resolutions by way of trust minutes, shown justified delegation of authority, have proper substantiation for all transactions, every single transaction, especially relating transactions, such as if the trustee exchanged anything into the trust, if the beneficiary exchanged anything to the trust, if the trust bought anything, and it may appear that it is the beneficiaries and it's not the trust. So this beneficiary or this trustee is the one that's driving this car all the time, so it's their car, and it's not really a trust property, it's your property, so we're going to tax back to you. No, look, you need to really handle this stuff from the beginning. It's like anything. If you prepare properly, you're not going to have any problems. If you go the distance, all my people who play sports, if you do the practices, if you do the scrimmages, if you work harder than any other team, no other team can beat you. If you play as a cohesive team and y'all work, there's nothing that can happen. And there's nothing to be scared of. The IRS is nothing to be scared of, in my opinion. It's an opponent to be studied. That's why fighters watch tapes of fights of the fighters that they're going to fight. They'll watch their previous fights. They'll study them. They ain't going to be afraid and try to avoid it. Avoidance of issues and problems is detrimental. Avoidance of taxes is legal. Evasion of taxes is illegal. So we study the alleged enemy, which is not an allegation. Any person, party, people, guy, woman, man, child, pet, in the attempt to pillage any portion or part of my private estate is an enemy. I don't care if it's a $5 parking ticket. That's a $5 pillage of my private estate by some offending foreign entity. But that's just me. And I think that, in dealing with the Internal Revenue Service, dealing with your fiduciary responsibilities, keeping proper books, keeping proper minutes, keeping the proper contracts, keeping the proper substantiation, keeping up with that stuff is the absolute best way to deal with the Internal Revenue Service. Absolute best way. So, with that being said, I will not. I just realized, man, I was up late and then woke up early. Kind of, not really. But I was up late. Late, man. I went to sleep just before the sun came up. So I am out of here. I trust that y'all, was able to gain some information, gain some knowledge, gain perspective, gain something from this episode of The Foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network. Tell me what you think. Shoot me an email, shoot me a comment. Go to the YouTube page, shoot a comment. Go to the Instagram page, shoot me a comment. Shoot me a private message. What do you think? What do y'all think? I have a very silent audience. It's dope. But not really. There's a lot of people in the audience, but I don't really hear from many of y'all. I take it as, hey, I'm giving y'all what y'all want. But, I'm open to suggestions, different topics, so on and so forth. But specifically, I think personally, the positive outcome of dealing with a financial adversary is heavily dependent on the previous preparedness or preparations. Absolutely. And all that is administering properly, substantiating it properly. Bottom line, it's not me doing this. I'm doing this because of this. Because the trust says this, the indenture says this, and then the board had meetings, and then there's a meeting of the board, then there was a resolution. So according to the resolution, I went straight off the resolution, or the board of trustees came up with this specific policy based off that resolution, and I'm just executing the policy. I'm executing the contract. I don't practice law, execute law. What makes the law? Contract makes the law. And that's what it is. I appreciate y'all checking out the show. If you're new, I appreciate you. You got that brand new smell on you. Shout out to you. I ain't sniffing on you. I ain't no weirdo. I ain't gonna sniff on your brand new smell. But I appreciate you checking out the show. If you're old school OG checking out the show, I appreciate you too. You smell familiar, but I ain't sniffing on you. You smell familiar stuff. That would be weird, wouldn't it? That'd be weird. I've seen people do that in public, and it's weird. I'm sniffing on people. I was just playing. But I appreciate y'all checking out the show. I'm dealing with lack of sleep, I think. Something's happening. Something transpired. But y'all really want to let y'all know I appreciate y'all checking out the show, dealing with the Internal Revenue Service. I trust that it was everything you wanted it to be. It wasn't, something you were like, man, he's wasting my time. I'm going to get that guy soap. He wasted my time. Although that would be funny if you spoke like that, I would hope and trust that that's not the case. If you were able to gain or glean something. But yeah, like I said, email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. If you would like to say what's up, book a consultation, you want to inquire as to trustee training, what that is. How come I can't see anything about trustee training on your website? Well, because that was on purpose. It's not for everyone, It really isn't. So, it is what it is. But shoot me an email, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. If you would like the document that I was referencing, it was a light reference on this show. Email secretary@welcometothefoundation.com and, get you sorted. Make sure you check out welcometothefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list for that exclusive content, offers, content and offers. Isn't that what it's all about these days? Content and offers, man. What you got? Let me see your content. Okay, what you gonna give me? What you offering? I accept. But nah, I trust y'all are enjoying your holidays. Your winter solstice. The dance was luxurious. Your Saturnalia is marvelous. Your Hanukkah, your Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. There's other stuff, right? But I'm a stupid American. I don't know very much, so blame it on me being a stupid American. But just happy holidays, if you celebrate. Saturnalia, how about that? You know what Saturnalia is? Saturnalia? Saturn, like the planet. Nalia, I don't know, like some girl's name from some Disney movie. Saturnalia. Look it up. It's interesting. Crazy, huh? But y'all enjoy your Saturnalia. Let me quit. Let me just quit trying to impose some things on y'all. I don't know if you're enjoying Saturnalia or not. You might not even know what it is. I might just put you on to something. Like, so I ain't never heard of that until you said it on the show, and I looked it up, and that's crazy. I wish I'd have never known. I apologize. Y'all have a great week, though. Make sure you enjoy yourself, Another year is about to wrap up. It's crazy. Time is flying. It's flying for me. Is it going slow for you? It's flying. Time is flying, man. Wow. But yeah, enjoy yourself, Y'all take care of yourself. Be thankful, man. Be thankful. You're here. You made it. So many people didn't make it. But I mean literally and figuratively. So many people didn't make it. Be appreciative. The things you appreciate. What do you love? What are you thankful for? What do you appreciate in your life? We tend to think about the things that we don't appreciate more than the things that we do appreciate. We tend to talk about the things that we don't appreciate, that we don't like, more than the things that we do like, that we do appreciate. Let's resolve. It's resolution time, right? We're getting close. Let's resolve to flip that. To reverse it, hit it with the reversal like back in the wrestling days, you know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be exaggerated reversal like the wrestling days. It can be a clean reversal, but hit them with the reversal, man. You can start appreciating. We can start thinking and speaking of and invoking through sound vibrations, the things that we appreciate and that we're thankful for in our life more than the things that we don't. And you will be amazed, man, at the change in your life. And when your life starts changing, don't stop. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's like doing push-ups and stuff. You start seeing muscles. You see the muscles? And you start doing push-ups. You fool. Keep doing the push-ups. Keep being thankful. Let's flip the script. Let's resolve to appreciate, I know there's crazy things going on. Like, so, how you going to speak like that and you just read all those stupid current events, man? I'm sad. You're messing my mood up. Well, this is a pickup. Ain't this a pickup? Call this the pickup pep talk. I'm just playing. I love y'all, you know, and you know it's easy to make a change. It's hard to stick with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But I believe in you, you know, and trust administration is not difficult. It isn't. It just requires dedication. You know, it's time consuming, not all time consuming, but it takes time. It's not, you know, not something you can remember. You know, some people can remember things. You know, I went out to eat, and this waitress remembered the whole order. I was like, "Did you get all that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I just kind of made this face, and she said everything back, the whole order, and it wasn't just me at the table, man. So some people can do that. Some people can't. They're horrible. Either way. It's all about doing it the right way, you know. It's all about doing it with consistency and dedication. So, like I said, I believe in you. You know, let's make these changes. Let's transition. Let's transition to this lifestyle of privacy, this lifestyle of mitigation and minimizing taxation and predatory taxation and maximizing wealth and multi-generational wealth. We maximize benefits, but also we're going to maximize some responsibility. And, you know, we here at the Foundation, we're here to assist you in doing that. So shoot me an email, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Make sure you check out welcometothefoundation.com and hit that education tab and do your dance and continue to check us out every week here on the Foundation, here on High Frequency Radio Network. My name is Sot L, that's Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L, and it has been an absolute pleasure, as it always is. I want y'all to take care of yourself, be good to each other, you know, be good to yourself. Enjoy yourself, most of all, you know, enjoy yourself. Not at the expense of someone else, but, you know, enjoy yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you are thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night, as it is very important. And I, again, want to thank you for checking out the show and invite you to check out next week and tell you that we'll be here next week, the Foundation, on the hottest radio network on the planet, High Frequency Radio Network. As I said, my name is Sot L, here on the Foundation, and as it always is, it's a pleasure, y'all. Be safe, be easy, enjoy yourself, take care of yourself, and I'll catch y'all next week. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.